I have the pleasure today to introduce Ling from Malaysia, and she's going to talk about adapting to online platforms for the uninitiated. Over to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Brian. Okay, I'd like to share my screen, yeah? Hello, welcome. All right, my name is Ling. All right, I'm the Director of Special Projects Malta, Malaysia, and I work in SMK Taman Desa Minium. It is the government, this high school in Malaysia. Today, I would like to talk about adapting to online platforms for the uninitiated, innovating with what is familiar. Right, when we faced the Movement Control Order, and now it's Conditional Movement Control Order, CMCO, right now, even now, because schools they are out, okay, no more schooling. And teachers started asking where am I going to have my teaching, what's going on, and who should I go to, you know, and when can I have my classes, my online classes? Is it in the morning or afternoon or even in the evening, late at night? And how am I going to do that? So teachers have so many questions popping up here and there. And when we talk about English, ESL in Malaysia, we have 4 skills because right now the CFR in Malaysia, we call it a CFR, but I think in Japan, you say severe, right? So there are 4 papers, listening, speaking, reading, and writing. So in this presentation, I'm going to talk about just speaking, right? And the challenges in remote teaching. In my country, we have some places, the remote places, they have the internet connectivity problem, poor internet connectivity. Okay, they can't receive, because when they're online, sometimes they, just like in Zoom, they will pop out and pop in again because of the connectivity. Poor time management. Some of my students, their day has become their night, and the night is their day. They sleep in the day, and at night they are the owl, you know, they're so active, they play games and they do all sort of things. So because of that, so how are we going to overcome the challenges? And it attitudes, you know, they don't care, you know, because they are so laid back at home. Some of the students are so laid back, they are in the comfort zone. They don't follow the time slot, things like that. So the attitudes really is the one of the biggest challenges that we face. And lack devices, okay? Some household, they only have 1 PC and a tab at home, and parents are also working from home. So for example, 1 PC they have to share among the siblings. So it's really difficult for them. So they need to plan it back. And less motivation as well as one of the challenges here. Right, speaking skill. Assessing pupil speaking skill using WhatsApp call. Right, why do I use WhatsApp? Because it's you. Before I start my speaking assessment, assessing my speaking skill among my pupils, I take note of the performance level of the pupils. In severe CFR, we have a performance level, we have the descriptors. So how do I translate the descriptors to the speaking skills? Because we're doing online now, we're doing the remote teaching. So how can they do and what can they do? Remember the can-do statement in severe? All right. So during the assessment of speaking skill using WhatsApp, we don't give feedback. We don't give immediate feedback. Okay, it is advisable to give feedback on the speaking skill after the call, after the WhatsApp call. So later I will show you more. I will share with you the reasons why. Okay, and in Malaysia we have our formative assessment file. Okay, we keep all the records of our pupils assessment. So for teachers, high school teachers, we have that file, and we have to constantly update the marks, okay, and the level and things like that in that file. So it's very convenient. Okay, I have the file, I have my devices, I go online in my remote teaching, and then I will just take note on the level of performance from my students. Okay, and the question, why WhatsApp? Because 90% of my pupils have WhatsApp, and it's so easy to reach out to them. And even now in WhatsApp video call, we can call up to 8 people, right? Okay, if you have updated to the latest version in WhatsApp, you can call right up to 8 people in a call, right? This is the Sophia adapting the can-do descriptors in speaking. So when I'm doing the WhatsApp call, right? The speaking, assessing the speaking. Okay, I'm looking at the performance level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 1 more 6. So is it 1, hardly shows any ability? 2, display limit ability? Or 3, display adequate ability? So this is the guideline that I follow, because speaking is very general. We can't just give the evaluation just like that. We need to have a reference to follow. Speaking assessment. Before you assess your pupils, teaching point must come in. Don't scare them. Don't tell, okay, tomorrow I like to test you on certain things and please come online. No, don't scare our pupils. And in speaking assessment, I divide my task into 2 parts. The first part is to introducing speaking task assessment to the pupils, okay? Before I carry out, because in Malaysia, we have a certain format, okay? That is a speaking format. There are 3 tasks. The task 1 is individual questions, the topics. Then we have the pictures. Then we have the I think map. Then we ask them to give their opinions. So we need, as teachers, we need to give that kind of input. We just don't ask them to speak, because in Malaysia, English is our second language. So we need to, as teachers, we need to give them some input. Then our pupils are able to produce the output. All right. So what do we teach them? We do expose and teach words and phrases needed for the speaking task. Example, using speaking frames and speaking bank. All right. So when a teacher asks you, where do you live? Then you have to start with I live in. All right. So these are the frames, the speaking frames that you have to use. Right. Then let's say in one class, average in one class, we have the class size of 30 to 33. All right. Some big schools, they have 40 to 50 pupils. All right. So as we all know, sometimes when we have our online class, not all students can go online at once. So what will happen to those who are able to go online? So these are all, okay, when I do my first part, I teach them through the GCR. GCR is a Google Classroom. Okay. For example, 15 of them attended my class in Google Classroom. So they have the online session with me. And another 15, if I have 30 students, another 15 will be in the recorded version. So I record my GCR class, then I upload the video in a WhatsApp for them to view. Okay, for another 15 students who didn't come online to view what's going on in that session. So it's fair for the students. Okay, I'm catering to differentiation. I'm catering to their different needs. Not all students can come online. In Malaysia, we also have problems of data. They don't have enough money to upgrade, okay, or to sustain the classes, online classes on the data, internet data. And the speaking assessment is explained. Pupil choose their partner. When I conduct my speaking assessment using WhatsApp, I have a pair, 2 of them, okay? And I let them choose their own partner so that they are more comfortable to have the discussion during the assessment, right? And second part of a speaking assessment is the video call using WhatsApp. This is the interface of my WhatsApp. This is my group, my English class for E to 2020 for this year. So I asked them to group them. Okay. I asked them, okay, students, please find your own partner and write down your name and so on. So they started to put in their names, and they were so cute. They started with group 11 because it was initially blank from group 1 to 11. Then Arman put 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. They didn't start from number 1 to number 11. They started from right at the bottom. So I even give them the time, the day and the time, okay? And I'll put in the WhatsApp group, okay? Please be alert. I'm teacher's gonna start the speaking assessment now, okay? I'm gonna call group 1. Then after 15 minutes or 20, I'll call group 2, group 3, right? I remember for this whole class, I actually used 6 hours altogether, 6 hours. It was very fruitful. Yeah, I know it's very long hour and so on, but it's very fruitful and meaningful for both teacher and the students. Because when we do speaking, is where I can see them, you know, right in front, and I can talk to them after this assessment. I can just chit chat with them and just like a small moment, and they'll tell me, teacher, I miss you, teacher. I say, yes, I miss all of you too, you know. Okay, and then you can have some short conversation with them. It's very meaningful. Yeah, it takes a longer time compared to those online class. Online class, you can face them, one teacher ratio to maybe 30 students. But for WhatsApp call, to be more effective, I only take a pair, 2 at each time. So in my WhatsApp group, okay, when I have my group here, I need to save the pupil's phone number. Okay, so I'll save the number, then I know who to call, right? Then I click on the phone icon, I choose their names to call. I call 2 of them, assessment is in pairs. All right, then the people start speaking according to the given task. Okay, I will tell them, okay, right now, you have to do this and do that. Okay, they listen and they will give their responses. If you want to record, click the screen recording on your phone. Okay, but of course, before you click screen recording, you need to ask your pupils for their consent. Whether it's okay, is it okay for teacher to record what's happening later? And then if they say okay, then you can record. If they say no, teacher, I don't want, I'm shy, then don't do it, because they are still teenagers, right? We have to respect them as well. And number 6, don't forget to take some screenshot as evidence. Because in my school, we have to take evidence. So things that we do, we need to have, remember I told you we have a file, the formative assessment file. So that's where we slot in our evidence for the activities that we have carried out in our lesson plan and as well. All right, so pupils here, these are some screenshots here. Okay, as you can see, my questions here, this is the picture questions. So spend 1 minute to look at the pictures and tell me what happened. Okay, so look at them, it's the happy faces there. All right, and I'd like to show how to carry out an effective speaking assessment using WhatsApp. Okay, if you can see, I used my phone here and I used my laptop here. The reason why, don't share your screen using your mobile phone. Okay, we all know that we can share our own screen on our mobile, but because of privacy. Yeah, you remember what happened to our Captain America? So don't show, because our pupils, they are very quick and fast. The moment they see anything, they could just screenshot and they can start viral things like that. They say, oh, teacher is playing Candy Crush, or teacher is playing this and that, or they saw something on your phone. So don't do that, okay? I even advise the teachers in my school, don't share your phone screen, okay? It's very dangerous, okay? So flip the camera, there's one button, to the front and show the question or the task on your computer screen here. Okay, just then that's right, then it will come out here at the bottom. And don't give immediate feedback. Let them finish discussing or talking, all right? And after the end, then perhaps if you think it is suitable, you can give some positive feedback, all right? 2 wishes and, 2 stars and a wish. You can give them that. All right, number 3, okay. Don't giggle or react at pupils' mistake. Now, sometimes it can be very funny, right? But we as teachers, we have to be professional, because if we are listening to them, you know, if they make mistake, when they mispronounce certain words, okay? Sometimes when people mispronounce certain words, or because in Malaysia, our first, the language is not English. So we have Bahasa Malaysia, the Malay language. For Chinese, we have the Mandarin. For Indians, we have they have the Hindus, Bahasa Tamil, the Tamil language. So they are influenced by their first language. So they are bound to have mistakes here and there. So as teachers, we can't even react at their mistakes. And don't record them without their consent. Okay, this is one of the example of the form that my school has to fill out for the assessment. So we fill in listening, speaking, reading, and writing. So as for this presentation, I only talk about speaking. And these are the performance level 2, 4, 1, and 2. So list down here, okay? And there is always room for improvement. If you carry out the second assessment, then you can improve on the score here. All right. In Malaysia, we have a portal called, a platform called Digital Learning Platform. In this platform, once this is logged in, when you log in, this is Malay language, yeah? When you log in, you will see all this. Applications are all in one same platform, okay? So all Malaysian teachers and students, we have our own ID and we have our password. We can enter this platform, go in here, and we can see so many applications here, palettes, blank space, and things like that, Squeezy, Kahoot. So it's the teachers. Teachers must take the initiative to learn, to explore, okay, during this, CMCO time, whereby we can't go back to school. Okay, these are the apps in the platform: Palette, GCR, Google Classroom. Okay, and I focus on WhatsApp, Mentimeter, and things like that. Right, teachers in Malaysia are constantly adapting and adopting technology available to them. Of course, we look at differentiation strategies. They are used widely, okay? We practice as well, because we also look for those who can't go online or those who can't produce any writing, what happened to them. We look into their well-being as well. Students' well-being is very important, okay? Are they facing any difficulty or problems at home, okay? And we have our school counselor. Our school counselor will get in touch with them, and they will talk to them, will counsel them. Okay, pupils are teachers' first priority. School is out, but learning still goes on. That's right. In this PDCA cycle of continuous improvement, teachers, we planned, we do, and we check the progress, okay? And we act on it. Again, we plan again. So it's like a continuous cycle and improvement. That means it will become better and better, because as teachers, you will identify the gap. Okay, what's the problem? And try to narrow down the gap. So we constantly do the planning, act, do, check, act, and plan again. Okay, I know this is very... Yes.
5 minutes.
5 minutes. Okay, almost there.
That's
right.
Okay.
Okay, start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. We can't force anyone to do things, okay? We don't force teachers to do things, but teacher must have the inner force from themselves, okay? If you are in a rural area, you just do with what you have. Use what you have and do what you can. Okay, So it's not just about ideas. I'm very glad that I'm in JALT for this past 1 week, okay? I received so many ideas on how to do things and that. So not just about ideas, but it's about making the ideas happen. So now we have so much of input. So it's for us, the teachers, to do it, okay? With that, thank you. And this is my email address here, my name @yahoo.com. If you have further discussions, you can email to me. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. That was a very interesting presentation. I enjoyed that. Joyce, could you first of all say, could you give unmute your microphones and give Taipei Ling a round of applause, please?
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Well
Thank
done.
you.
Do you have any questions? Any questions?
Yes, I have a question here.
Sure.
Could we? Can you share your screen once again? I want to go towards the slide again with the do's and don'ts of privacy.
All right. Okay. Am I sharing my slide now?
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
The don'ts.
The do's and don'ts. Yeah. All right.
I'm curious about the whole number 3, the giggling and reacting as for mistakes. Is that when I teach, I normally have a sense of positive attitude and I laugh at many things, and whether if it's something big or small. And doing something like this, I may inevitably laugh at something that may inadvertently affect the student, whether it's good or bad. How would you remedy that?
All right.
Who likes to laugh at everything?
Okay, because when you are in class, you are facing a class of pupils, students. So that's no problem. You laugh at like general, certain, you say, okay, someone pronounce this and that, and then try to teach them, right? But when you are facing only 2 of them, it's either you or me, right? So they will take it very personally. Oh, teacher is laughing at my pronunciation. So when I'm doing this WhatsApp call, okay, with 2 students only, I don't do that because they will take it very personal and say, oh, teacher is laughing at me, or I have said something wrongly. But of course, I like the way that you have done it in class, okay, because students love very humorous teachers. You can create jokes and things like that. In class, no problem. But in a very small setting, this is a very small setting, it's only for 2 students here. So I don't react. So I just try to be neutral because this is an assessment. I'm giving them marks. So I don't give like, oh, yes, I agree, or just be neutral, just like invigilating students exam. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for your perspective.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I was quite pleased that your students have the same problems that we have in Japan.
Oh, really?
Well, no, I wasn't pleased. That's the wrong way to say it. But it's quite reassuring that the sort of things are worldwide, like the lack of devices and accessing the internet and things like that in the family home. The different surroundings is very interesting.
Yeah. Yes.
Attitude. What was the other one I've got? Attitude, poor time management.
Yes, and time management.
All the things you said are.
Oh, really?
Most of them, I think. Would you agree, Phil?
I guess we're all humans, yeah.
Yeah, they're all, and also that you said they're teenagers as well. I think I certainly tend to forget they're teenagers, even though we're teaching at university level.
Yeah,
forget,
okay.
They're only 18, or
yeah. Sometimes I get very angry because I already asked to come in at what time. It's like, you're late for 20 minutes. Sorry, teacher, I cannot get up. Things like that.
I know the feeling.
What can I do? I can't do because they're at home, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Don't worry. Just put in your attendance in a Google form. I said that's very important. My Google form. I have my Google form, so they just plug in their attendance there. Okay.
Well,
thank you very much, Brian.
Thank you very much for coming today, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference. I know you have to go somewhere at.
Yeah, I have to go for my international forum.
International forum, which is in this room, aren't you? So stay here. But if you want to continue the conversation, you can stay here if you feel. If you want to continue the conversation.
So it's the same room, is it?
It's in the same room, yeah, room 22. And I just have to. This is my first time as a room host, so I just practice. So if you wish to go to the EM room, you can go there, or you can also go to the hangout rooms during the conference, and you can talk to other
Okay.
conference goers. Okay.
Right.
So thank you very much, and I'm going to stop the recording.
Thank you, Mr. Ryan.
Okay, stop.